Swan Dive, Red Strings, Part 3. The last piece of crimson twine led you to the tale of a trust fund prick of a paladin on the run packing a missing child that found himself tangled up with our hardened midwife, Sinette, on the hunt for his orange eyes. And an Aelfir private eye on the edge, Garen, lives just downstairs, teetering on the brink, after an attack from a familiar face left him mauled and partnerless. Before Zit knew it, his door was double shoulder bashed down, and he was pinned to a table by a few of Sinette's stashed, sharp objects. Once she got the truth sluicing out of him about the kid he stole, Elizabeth, Garen, under stress of his murdered partner, booze, and Zit's betrayal, popped the paladin's head like the kid's namesake. Now flush with a corpse and a promise to find retribution for Garen's partner Yisheb, Sinette looks over a new kind of precipice. Now, our attention turns to the ever-struggling Griff, interrogating me, his god-rope mentor, about the particulars of the mantle I've passed on from bloodied ropes on high.
So you were the guy.
Yeah, kid, I was the guy. I was.
Oh.
I failed, kid. I failed, and I think you can see pretty clearly where that led me.
I'm sorry for I guess taking your stuff.
You're right, kid. You didn't take it, you inherited it.
What exactly did I inherit?
The mantle. You're the red snare now. You protect the weak. You take down the unrighteous. You bring justice to those who evade it at every corner.
How did you fail?
I died.
Let's I want to know more. Like, what? Who were you? Who, like, did you have a family? This is a lot. This is wow. What is your stance on flashback?
Fuck it. Yeah, we can do some flashback.
I'd like to. I know what I'd like to do. I know what Griff would do. I think Griff wants to go back to where he found it.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Where do you think is the most interesting place for Griff to have found Hitch?
I know exactly where it is.
Okay.
Griff, I imagine there are a ton of delivery routes that are essentially just staircases on the outside of the spire. Just sheer staircases where to the left of you is the wall of the spire and to the right is the plummeting drop.
Yeah, like a Legend of Zelda dungeon. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's all. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that image. Yeah.
And I imagine at one point when Griff was on a delivery route, he happened to take a path like that was very close to the perch, that was right underneath it, in fact. And gazing up at the perch, there's a lot of things like hanging off of the perch, a lot of chains and ropes and little things hooked up and what have you. And one day on his route, he looked up and he saw a man mangled and hanging from the ropes underneath the perch. He was wearing this bright red cord all around his body. I think Griff saw that. He could pick him out immediately. He knew exactly, looking at this man, that's that's a crime fighter. That's a vigilante, whatever you want to call it. That is someone that Griff wants to be. I mean, not, in that situation, but that is who Griff wanted to be.
Yeah.
So he took it. He took the knives and the rope and just about everything the person had on them. And I think that's where it all started.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah, Hitch probably finally started speaking to you. Yeah, I feel like the body, this is what I'm interested in, especially how it was mangled and like what you took off of him. So obviously the rope itself, the easiest image for me is that he was just punctured like a pin cushion. Like he'd clearly just been stabbed everywhere. And that it's not clear, like, was this rope stained red to begin with, or is this literally just blood soaked? I
also see, I don't know if you've ever seen those children's illustrations for the Crooked Man, of how his body is just contorted. Mm-hmm. And his arms are just doing completely unnatural angles. I imagine it is that with him all tethered up into these ropes.
No, I think that's that's a much simpler image, that he's just been shattered by his own ropes. Like he's just fallen and plummeted and they just broke him in 100 different unnatural angles.
There's some sort of symbolism there.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's perfect. And yeah, you cut him down, and to reveal that, this rope can heal itself and snap back together, and after a while, I don't think it's immediate, probably after a few days, eventually you got...
Hey kid, you want to learn a trick? Calm down, kid.
What? Who is that?
It's me. The rope.
And he looks down at the rope. That's coiling its way around his arms.
Yeah, I feel like Hitch can barely move himself. Like we've described, like he can move himself in like little spurts, like these little thrashes, and like he can tighten briefly, but like he couldn't choke someone out. It's also because there's an advance where you could get him to be able to do that. But
ooh,
yeah, there's a specific advance to like strengthen the rope. So I think at this point he can just kind of he can move a little. So I feel like what happened is he sort of thrashed and was just barely touching your ankle this first time, because maybe you're up in your little bundle high up next to the smokestack. And yeah, he's just sort of resting against your knee, or against your ankle.
What are you? Who are you? What is this? What? Are you a ghost? Is this?
You're close. Somewhere in that ballpark. I'm a magic rope, kid. That's all you need to know. A magic rope with a whole lot of tricks he can teach you.
What do you want from me?
Nothing, kid. I just need someone to pass on a message.
Message to who?
A little more general than that. Kind of a open letter.
And Griff's eyes brighten as sort of the gears start clicking, and he's like, Do I get to be a crime fighter?
Well, if that's the word you want to use, then sure, kid. I'll help you become a crime fighter.
I have in my head, we're in an alley. I have in my head the scene from the first Spider-Man movie where he just, the trumpets start blaring as he this his hand onto the wall, bah, bah, and he just starts walking up. I imagine something like that. We're just in this tight little packed alley on top of the hammock. He shoots a rope upward, and it lassos around a pipe or a chimney or something, and he just starts zipping.
Yeah, finds some momentum and discovers that Hitch is able to guide you and with those nudging twitches, help you whip around angles and toss him farther and faster, more accurately. I mean, you have aim assist essentially with Hitch, I feel like you're not able to start, like Spider-Man. I don't think you initially zip. Maybe you whip it around. Let's make this fun. Pursue, to me, seems the most logical skill.
Look at that.
Maybe, unlike Spider-Man, you have a lucky start. beginner's luck. And yeah, you get some fell, beautiful swoops through the air. It's for the first time you feel the power of Hitch course through you. And then yeah, maybe we get a little montage, right, of Hitch beginning to train you in the ways of the bound. Unbeknownst to you,
I think the first thing, like immediately, the first thing that Griff does as soon as he like tries out these powers and he has this great moment of being kind of good at it is I think he immediately like jerks his head around looking for a criminal. And I don't even think it has to be a real criminal, just somebody who looks like Griff could believe he's a criminal.
In the works, I don't think it would take very long to find somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, after a couple swings, unmasked, sort of in civvies, yeah, you probably can see a big, grungy-looking guy, thick stocking cap pulled over his head, big woolen coat, Spire black stained, kind of stumbling home, looking just completely and utterly muggy, just angry looking, staring at the world like he's pissed off at everybody.
Yeah, I think Griff is oh man, what would he do? I don't think Griff would just go straight to attacking. I think he's got a monologue.
Oh, and I would like to hear it.
I think Griff stands atop a sort of shallow rooftop with the moon glinting behind him, or not the moon, just a shitty light glinting behind him, and he just shouts, "You villain!
Guy stops.
Evildoer!"
Turns around.
You face justice.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Fucked I do, kid.
What? You're.
You want to come down here and tell me exactly what I did, kid? Huh?
I think Griff freezes. I think this is the first time, like his notion of, because like he's never done this before. He's always had in his head. He's always pictured it of like, yeah, I'm gonna find a bad guy and they're gonna be evil, and they're gonna be like, twirling a mustache and holding a round bomb, and it's gonna be easy, and I'm gonna fight them.
Of course.
This is the first time it's ever been like challenged his idea of what a bad guy is.
And then Hitch in your ear.
All right, kid, maybe you're being a little hasty with this one.
Should I run away?
On one hand, we have absolutely no evidence that this guy is in any way a real evildoer. On the other hand, it does look pretty shady.
That's what I thought.
It's got a bad aura about him.
Yeah, just a real like criminal energy.
Yeah, just a bad energy all around.
I think I'm gonna fight him.
The fuck you say, kid?
I said I think I think I'm gonna fight you.
All right. Sounds like a fucking time. Well, come down here and fight me, you little punk ass. It's a terrible day in the factory, and I wouldn't mind taking it out on some brat. Starts cracking his knuckles.
And Griff sort of swings down and squares up directly in front of him and just says, all right, prepare yourself and put up your dukes.
This guy's bigger than I initially thought. He looked a little smaller at a distance, I gotta be honest.
He's very tall.
Who are you talking to?
And I think he tries to clock him. I think he tries to just cold clock him right in the jaw.
Okay, so
Griff is a man of instinct.
Fight low society difficulty 1.
Oh boy. Okay. So that's gonna be 2 dice.
Sounds like it.
Ooh. Well.
Hey, not too bad. Give me a D6 blood. Did you have any previous blood stress?
Well, this is in the past.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I believe I had one. Oh boy.
All right. Sure. Give me your damage roll. That's oh, you're unarmed. It's a single point of damage. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like he's quite a bit taller than Griff. Griff's a little fella. So you probably have to kind of jump a little to like get this haymaker in, right? Like a little bit of a, and then crap. And it like does that classic like his jaw moves, his head moves, his neck moves a little, but his shoulders are stock still. Head just kind of turns it back your direction.
Oh my god.
All right, kid. Not too bad. My turn. Lifts up his leg and he kicks Griff full force in the face, like an asshole kicking a stray dog. Just bump. And just sends him tumbling like 3 fucking feet. So yeah, if you'll take a minor blood fallout, broken nose, and yeah, you can feel Griff's nose is squished into his skull, blood streaming out of it like a faucet.
Oh! Oh god, Justice hurts.
Hey, but you hit him, kid. I mean, not too bad.
And Griff just starts waddling away.
Yeah, I think the guy's laughing his ass off. You can probably tell now that you've been up close and personal with him. He's probably been drinking a little bit. And yeah, I think as you like are bleeding from your nose and like holding it and crying and screaming and stumbling away, he's just laughing at you. He's not trying to chase your ass down. And yeah, Griff manages to slip into an alley.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I just think he's blubbering. I think he just had his world rocked. Like that was his like the moment he's been waiting for just about his entire life. And it went worse than he ever imagined. I think he's just blubbering. He's just beside himself. Like it's like half of it's from the broken nose and half of it is from his ego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I think after a few seconds of alleyway blubbering,
all right, kid. Look, I could have stepped in there and probably stopped you, all right? But I think you probably needed that.
I needed a broken nose.
Yeah, kid. You needed a broken nose. To teach you that sometimes you gotta pick your fights. And you can't just be picking randos off the street and kicking their ass. Even though I kind of encouraged you on that one.
You said he looked suspicious.
He did look suspicious, but that doesn't... It's not good enough.
Okay.
Okay is right. So what we do, we get some ice on that nose of yours. Tomorrow night, we go hunting proper. Find a real criminal.
A real criminal?
Yeah, not some drunk asshole.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah!
And then, yeah, blood dripping from your nose. I feel like this is a good time to, like, kind of do, like, if this was a film or a cartoon or whatever, sort of a fade shot.
It would fade back into... Yeah.
And I feel like at this point it kind of highlights, Griff's nose is, like, never healed quite right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then I feel like as we find Griff again, he's made his way back to that place we talked previously, the place you found whoever Hitch once was, and the rope itself, sort of, a marginal area below Perch, probably, just on the top of the works, stairs-wise. And yeah, there it is. Probably dusk, sun is setting in the distance, orange glows, and twittering of megacorvidae and birds on the outside of the spire, and of course, the best view in the house.
I think Griff has like a little bit of a moment here, like he sits down on the edge. And I think he does something that he doesn't really do hardly ever. I think he just sits and he thinks. I think he kind of thinks about the decisions he's made that got him like right here Not in a regretful way or anything, just sort of thinking over the fact that he hasn't thought about any of this at all, really. He didn't so much question when he joined the ministry. He didn't question much when Hitch, I guess, chose him the way he sees it. And he didn't question much when he decided to pilfer a corpse here below the perch. And I think, I think he just has a little moment and he looks up to where he found the body before. And I guess he sort of absentmindedly looks up to it to see if it's still there.
As much as I would want to say that it is the nature of Spire.
No way.
Yeah, how valuable corpses are. You probably know a massive source of like protein and food in general in the Spire is this red fungus that is grown in the Hanging Gardens, which is where the majority of corpses, especially the poor corpses of the Spire, are brought, hung, and then given to the fungus. And then they're harvested over a course of years, and that fungus feeds a massive portion of the population of Spire. So chances are good that he was brought there, but I feel like you can probably see just the faintest hint tied to the edge of a strut, a faded, at this point, like almost dirt brown red chunk of rope.
I think he looks up to where it would have fallen from, where the corpse would have fallen down to that place.
Okay. Yeah, you follow it. And I think for the first time you look at it close enough to realize that this is along the side of the staircase. It's sort of like a hastily constructed piece of like set, right? Like there's no bracing underneath or whatever. Like it's just boards stapled to the side of, not stapled, but hastily hammered to the side of this wall, strapped. But the boards are loosely affixed enough that things can get wedged and it's almost impossible to see them. And as you follow that exact line of sight, you realize wedged underneath this platform, blending in with the stones, is something oval-shaped that you definitely have never seen before.
Oh, Griff's gonna jump up and sort of lasso his way up there and grab it.
Yeah, and I feel like the moment you touch it...
Hey kid, you should leave that alone.
What is it?
Mine.
Do you want it?
Certainly don't want the memories it brings back.
What is it?
Just fucking look, kid.
I give it a good old gander, toss it around in my hands, see what it is.
You grab it and you pull it up and you realize there's a pocket watch. Lightly engraved. It's not so, not gorgeous. Probably not Aelfir make by any means, but it's sturdy, iron, it's heavy, and if you crack it open, it's a pocket watch, but on the inside of the other face is a profile portrait of a woman. A drow, of course.
Who was she?
Come on, kid. Someone from before.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand. I do. And I think Griff just silently, I think he packs the pocket watch away into a specific special little pocket on the outside with something else in it. And I think he silently gets back down onto the stairway. And I think he starts just silently walking up the stairs to go to the perch.
Okay. Yeah. Probably a 45-minute walk from there all the way up to the perch. I mean, it's like a decent hike up the side of a mountain, equivalently. But especially with Hitch and your rope skills, probably a little shorter. I feel like you've probably been to perch before. If you've never, if you haven't been consciously, you've probably been through delivering other packages.
Oh, yeah, I think Griff's been about everywhere, but I don't think he's paid attention to it.
Yeah. And, I think for us, my best analog, right, is that this is like a small town. It's like a small Texas town, probably 30, 40 families overall. Like everybody ultimately knows each other. The gossip is intense and tight and small. Ultimately, probably maybe 4,000, 5,000 people. It's populous. The entirety of the Spire is incredibly populous, but nonetheless, everybody knows each other and it's fairly isolated. So coming through it is, sort of like delivering to a small town. There's only one bar. There's a handful of small religious institutions. Of course, if you've ever been through, you've probably seen, Sinette and her fellow midwives. There's a handful of people that raise a large flock of messenger birds, and there are, of course, the handful of mysterious bound, who aren't public, but it is well known that, of course, they operate out of Perch and operate essentially across the entirety of the Spire.
I think Griff is going to try to track down. I think Griff has heard about how up in the Perch they worship small gods. Mm-hmm. And I think he knows the pretty much the little bit that everybody knows, that small gods just sort of pop up in items, especially ropes, being these sort of holy objects. I think he wants to find like an expert on these gods, like maybe someone around the graveyard or somewhere in one of these religious institutes, someone who can tell him about these gods that inhabit these items.
The easiest and I think most obvious place to go, the Shrine of Lost Gods. We've been there before, at least Annette has. Mm-hmm. And I think it wouldn't be too far of a stretch for even an outsider to recognize the Shrine of Lost Gods as somewhere to go to either commune with lost small gods or to find information on small gods. So, yeah, I think it's pretty easy to navigate your way there, asking, a local or two. Like we discussed last time, it's something like a karmic, cosmic goodwill. It's dingy. It's laid out. It's a shrine, but it's it's essentially a giant room with small displays and shelves. Cavernous, goes far deeper into the spire than it looks like from the outside. And there are only a handful of aging ex-midwives. You're never not a midwife, but midwives that no longer directly minister the brood and work in the brood house. And yeah, as you enter, it cavernously empty. Smells like dust, like an antique store.
Yeah, I think he goes up to, I don't know, where there'd be like a register or a front desk or something.
It's a shrine. Unfortunately, no register or front desk.
I guess, but you can't exactly go in and come out with an enchanted broom or anything.
Unfortunately, not. Yeah, that's kind of the tricky thing I'm presenting here. Kind of the bit about this shrine is that you sort of have to hunt for someone like a priest that's working here or something like that. Yeah.
Like a little library. Then yeah, I think Griff goes through hunting. I think he feels compelled. He's got to find somebody.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear you say the words. I don't think it takes too long. Just a couple of hey, and eventually.
That's exactly how he'd do it.
Yeah, an ancient creaking voice. Quiet down. Kind of in the distance.
Sorry.
And little shuffling footsteps with a cane. And eventually, same older woman that we've seen in a previous episode. A midwife, an ex-midwife, as I've sort of have explained a second ago. And she's got a big satchel kind of slung over her shoulder, clearly weighing her down, filled with items and boxes and what appear to be tools. There are side pockets. It's somewhere in between a painter's frock and a general messenger bag. Can I help you, young man?
Hi, I'm looking for somebody who knows about small gods.
Well, you came to the right place. Little general, though, boy. What do you need to know? Here, walk with me. I have work to do.
Yes, Maji. Have you ever and this might sound a little weird, out of left field, but he wouldn't say out of left field. Baseball doesn't exist here.
Hey, no, all right? There's a sport with fields. I said quixotic last episode. Sometimes just roll with it.
Blaseball.
Blaseball's real.
Oh, please let Blaseball exist in Spire.
It's just magic fantasy Blaseball. All right, it's canon.
So are you a Mexico Wild Wings fan?
Personally, I'm a Houston Spies, but I'll flip-flop here and there for the Dallas Steaks. No, fuck off. Come on, keep going.
Sorry. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but have you ever heard of a person becoming a small god?
Yes, it's common. Small gods.
Is it?
Yeah, of course. Small gods. It's how do you say? Starts kind of lifting up to reach something on a shelf. Could you get that for me?
Oh, yeah. And I think to demonstrate just a little bit of what he's talking about, I think he uses Hitch to sort of assist him
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Excellent rope manipulation there, young man. Reminds me of a few of our own. You learned techniques from Abound.
In a way, he's kind of what I'm talking about.
And her eyes kind of widen a little bit. Ah. Well, she kind of looks Hitch up and down. Is that so? Yes, it's common. Small gods is colloquial. They're spirits. Belief has incredible power, young man. Here in Perch, we're removed enough to be willing to believe in things like rope, nails, simple things that hold us together. Elsewhere, belief can be a dangerous, destructive thing. Sometimes it can hold things on to, well, where they need to be held on to. So, you have a friend in your rope there. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I guess.
Is he an asshole?
You know, he does his best, as we all do. You know, it.
Hey, come on, kid.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's not your. I mean, you're a rope.
Hey, digging a fucking hole deeper here, kid. Come on.
If he's too much, you can always give him to us, and we can take him off your hands.
What?
Well, you can give us the rope. That's what we do here. We take care of our small gods as they fade into the next life.
I don't think he'd go for that.
Yeah, good call, kid.
The offer's there. So what do you want to know?
I don't know. I guess I wanted to know what could do this to someone.
What can make a ghost?
That's a larger question than I can answer, young man. But if I had to make an easy guess, an unfinished business. Doesn't seem to get a whole lot more complicated than that, typically.
Well, thank you.
Or perhaps somebody still loves him enough to keep him around.
Huh.
That's a kind of business too, though, isn't it? Love.
Not much one for loving, are you?
What the hell does that mean?
That was a weird thing to say. I'm so sorry. That was a weird. Sometimes I say I didn't. Thank you. I think I have one more question. One last question. You've been really helpful. Thank you. Does this make me Abound?
I don't know if there really is a formal organization of Bound. They're loose. Perhaps if you tried to make contact with them, there are enclaves, connections. Maybe you could present as one. I think all it really takes is the will to bring justice where there is none.
Griff's eyes definitely glisten. Thank you. Thank you very much. And he starts walking out.
You take care, young man. You're getting tangled up with dangerous sorts.
Griff just lets that sit with him. He walks outside.
Yeah, so I think you exit the building fairly unapproached, unopposed. And as you make your way, wherever you're headed next, you hear a voice in the distance call out your name. Oh, hey, Griff! And you see waving his little arm. It's Pent in the distance. One of the three boys from the party.
Hey, buddy!
Hey, man! And finally, by now, catches up to you, kind of stops, kind of drops, puts his hands on his knees, catches his breath. Ooh, afraid I was gonna miss you. You're gonna do some cool rope stuff.
Nah, just not much cool rope stuff today. Just running some errands.
Oh, okay, cool errands.
I mean, I guess. Sure. What are you up to? How are you doing? I see you made it out okay.
Yeah, we all did. Thanks to you telling us, everybody was good. We made it out, and me and Feld and Bobby, we've been hanging out and having a good time. We've been doing some practicing. Practicing.
What kind of practicing?
Just kind of rubs his foot on the ground. Making sure we can take care of yourselves,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, take care of any more problems should they arise, you know?
Oh, I catch your drift. I see where you're going. Yeah, practicing. You getting any good, huh? Huh?
Kind of looks left and right. I stabbed a guy.
Whoa! That's a little much, but wow! Did he have it coming?
Oh, totally. He punched Bobby right in the face like 3 times.
Oh, man, you gotta stab a guy like that.
You gotta stab that guy.
He's asking for a stabbing.
He's asking for a knife in his ribs, so I stabbed him. And then he started screaming, and then he produced a knife, and then we ran away, and then,
That's probably the wise thing to do.
That hasn't played out. Yeah, it worked out. But, I don't know if we ever would have done it without you.
Well, that's real nice of you to say. I'll say it. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all 3 of you.
Okay.
Just a bunch of scrappers out there, just really making it, just trying to get through the day, and you know what, divvying out just a little bit of that back alley justice.
That's right, Canale and his boys divvying out back alley justice.
Oh, dude, that's sweet. That's so sweet. And I think Griff goes in for like a cool handshake. You know the kind. Not just a grab the hand, like a maybe a yeah, like a little slide to it, little fist bump in there.
Oh, he's terrible at it, but he does it with so much enthusiasm.
Oh yeah. This is like the only time that like Griff, except for the last time he was talking with him, this is the only time Griff interacts with people his age.
That's true. Yeah, not exactly going to school or anything.
Yeah. I have a question. What's schools like for the poor?
No.
None?
University level education is detailed in the Spire, but kind of all the lower levels, primary and that sort of thing, aren't exactly laid out before you. I've always presumed Aelfir have them. If you're a drow that lives in Silver Quarter, you could probably have them. If you're a drow that lives in Ivory Row, you could probably have, normal schools and such. But I think and Blueport, maybe some North Docks. But I think like Red Row, Derelictus, Perch, all that stuff. I think that's just a lot of like tutoring and homeschooling, sort of like school in the 1800s. Like there are probably some small school. There are like communities have schoolhouses, but there's not like a scholastic league or anything. The only official, consistent educational institutions are going to be your big universities.
I know that sounded banal, but I did need to know that.
No, I mean it's good to explore, especially with Griff's age.
Yeah, Griff's just like, I think for a moment he's just happy. He's just not thinking about. He's just happy.
Nice. Enjoy while it lasts. And you complete your handshake. Well, thanks, man. That felt pretty cool.
Yeah. Just some cool folks. Just cool kids doing cool stuff. But yeah, I'm proud of you. You keep it up, bud.
I will. I'll tell Bobby and Fel do that. Actually, if you're not busy, you could maybe meet up with us. We could practice together,
Oh, a little practicing, huh?
A little practicing.
I've got just one last errand to run, but after that, I would love to do that.
We always start just outside of Perch before we get started. So if you want to meet us while we're suiting up, I don't think Feldspar and Bobby would reject that at all.
Let me tell you something. Look at me. Let me tell you something. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so cool.
Oh, it's gonna be cool. We're gonna beat the shit out of someone.
Oh yeah, with someone who deserves it.
Of course, a bad guy.
Yeah, a bad guy.
Oh, I'm gonna stab a second bad guy.
Oh, you gotta. Yeah, some bad guys just need stabbing.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well then, I'll meet you out here. Around that time, whatever time you specified.
All right. Probably.
All right.
4 or 5 hours. I'll meet you out here. All right. I'll tell Feldspar. I'll tell Bobby we're waiting for you. We'll look for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Red Snare.
Oh. Hey, do you guys also have cool names?
Maybe. Guess you're just gonna have to come and see, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
the fuck are we doing?
Good content is what we're doing.
Oh, that's pure gold right there. I imagine like as the last minute.
They're walking away from each other. Yeah.
No, they were looking at each other, but walking away slowly.
Exactly.
Finger gunning at each other.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say they're very slowly backing away, kind of stepping, turning, still talking over the shoulder, turning around, finger guns, various gestures, various noises, that whole 9 yards. Takes 5 minutes for them to finally get away from each other.
Oh, that's killer. Oh, I love that. Okay, before we get into where the wheels start rolling, I'd like to have one last. Well, I guess two last little things. First, I feel like I really dropped the ball. I think Griff absolutely has to see if he can find Lewis.
A second ago we discussed it's dusk-ish, getting close to dusk, 7-6, so pretty close to when bakeries and such would start to be closing down, but I think there's still enough time. Yeah. Let's see what time you get there. Let's just give me another pursue. Yeah, give me another pursue. You're still in Perch. But I think you can probably remember, Lewis's cake shop was not an Amaranth. He definitely told you that, but he didn't tell you precisely where it was, but of course you know the name of it. So yeah, I think with some pursuance, yeah. And of course you can probably cross some stuff out. Not going to be Red Row or Derelictus, probably not North Docks, although maybe North Docks. Let's just give me a pursue. Let's see how the search goes.
Ooh, that's an 8, baby.
It goes really well. Yeah, I don't think it takes you very well. It takes you very long to learn that, Lewis's Cakes is in Blue Port. It's fairly close to the water. It's kind of tucked into, like, one of those storefronts that, like, looks way too thin. You're like, how the fuck can a business fit in that? That's, like, entirely, like, half the length of fucking... half the width the building should be. But it's adorable. It's, like, pastel and sticks out like a sore thumb in this sea of gray stone. In that way of, like, New York buildings, I don't know what the official term is, but where, like, all the buildings work into each other, like, they all mesh, like, seamlessly integrated to one another. Country folk discussing the big city. It looks like that, but yeah, it's just got this pastel stripe up the, like, entire front of it. Same color as, like, the uniforms and the carriage and all that good stuff. And then, big, beautiful script, Lewis's Bakery. You get there well in time, probably about 30 minutes till they're closing up, and only a handful of customers, maybe 3, are still inside. You can kind of see through the frosted glass.
What area did you say this was?
It's in Blue Port, so it's like nicer.
But this isn't the type of like elfier high-end place where you'd need a mask.
No. It's like ground level. Blue Port is even with the river that runs through Spire.
Oh, okay. Then I think Griff he's just gonna hide in like some bushes and try to peek through the window and see if Lewis is there. Just make sure he's okay.
I don't know if there's any bushes, just because it's sort of like waterfront, right? It's like there's the storefront and then there's like a street carriage width and then there's probably like, a railing next to the river, that sort of thing. I think you can sort of survey and kind of see in the distance the other employee that you kind of never talked to working the counter, and then in the distance, kind of small, faintly, you can see a little hunch, white-haired, wispy man swamping through the kitchen in the distance.
Goes inside the bakery.
Welcome in! Kind of distantly from the kitchen, and then the man at the counter looks up and notices you with the same steely cold eyes that he looked at everything during like the entirety of the soiree.
Hey. Hey, Lewis?
Just a minute. Almost finishing here. I think my man Carl should be in there to speak. Just a second now.
Griff is gonna take out the little pouch of money that Lewis gave him, and he's just gonna plop it onto the counter.
Yeah, Carl kind of looks down at it. What's that, kid?
This is I'll take one little cake, please.
Grabs the bag, slides it towards him on the counter, creaks it open with 2 fingers, and peers in. It's a little more than a single cake, kid.
You can keep it. I mean, it's for the shop.
Cinches it back closed and walks into the kitchen.
Yeah, Griff's just rocking back and forth on his heels.
Some time passes, and then from the back, patting his apron clear, still covered in flour, dusted mustache, kind of dusty. All right, well, what's going on here, but... my boy.
Hi, sir.
Griff, what in the world? Kind of flips up, the little counter thing to get around the counter. Kind of comes around the other side. What are you doing here? Is your sister safe? I thought you had to flee. What are you doing back here?
I think Griff just hugs him. He just holds him. He just holds him real tight.
Yeah.
He was worried.
You get some flour on you, some little smush of dough, some sugar, whatever. But yeah, it's warm. And Lewis hugs you back after a second.
I was really worried after all that whole thing fell down.
I was worried about you, my boy. A bomb. I can't tell you how horrifying it was. Well, although not to say anything about the boost in business after all the papers reported on it, but nonetheless, and that poor Philip died, fell from his dang tube. It's horrible.
It was pretty grisly.
I'm just glad you're okay, my boy. And those dang monkeys doing a terrorism. I can't even believe it. Not even a bit.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just the way of things, I guess. Monkeys, who knew?
Who knew? They seemed like perfectly reasonable, aberrant horrors of nature.
This whole situation, it's really bananas.
Oh, shush.
I'm sorry, people died. We all deal with grief differently. A friend of mine said that.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll let this one slide, Griff, all right? That's a bad one. That's pretty bad. But look, what are you doing here? You didn't answer my dang question now, Griff. Is your sister all right now?
And, I think it kind of hurts Griff a little bit, but he puts on a very practiced, sad face, and he begins to fib to Lewis. Well, in a surprising turn of events, they were in the Spire Gardens.
What?
I wasn't completely honest with you. I didn't need that job to pay them. I needed that job to get to them. They were going to be at the soiree. They were going to be there at the party to collect their last round of protection money. And with that money, they were going to whisk my sister away like I told you. That part was true. And I needed to get there. I needed to find her. But and he just the same violin music starts playing. A little tear comes in his eye. They didn't make it. There they were at the top, at the very top. And down they came. The mobsters, my sister and all.
Lewis just starts doing that embarrassing middle-aged man cry. Oh, my boy. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine losing my family in something that horrible. To not have any closure. To know that you were a small cog in such a horrible machine. Oh, God! Oh, God! Listen, boy. I know what it's like to lose family. I know what it's like too well. The honesty you showed, even though you had to be a little dishonest, proves you were fighting. You have the heart of a hero. I could sense that in you, boy. I knew that from the moment you knocked on my dang carriage. You need anything. All right. Somewhere to get away, or you need a dang job again? Well, I'm your man, all right?
I know I've been dishonest to you. And I think after Lewis called him a hero, I think it's that kind of thing where he started fake crying, and so the gates were already open, and he just turned to real tears.
Oh no!
They're real on tears, and he's just I know I've been dishonest to you. and you've been nothing but kind. And I don't want to lie to you, Lewis. So I just need you to believe me and not ask questions when I say, I don't think it would be safe for me to work here, but I'm not going away. Is it okay if I just come by every once in a while?
I don't see any reason why not, my boy. Seems like you lead a crazy life. You don't feel like it's safe for you to work here, boy. I understand. What with the mob and all.
Yeah, Griff just hugs him again.
I think he pats you on the back a little bit, and then from the kitchen in the back, Carl emerges with a big pink cake box, far, far larger than those little individual cakes, and kind of slides it over the counter, your coin bag on top. Keep the change, kid.
Okay. Thank you. I think sort of walking out of Lewis's cake shop, I think he spent maybe another 15 minutes just talking with Lewis. Just chatting, having a gay old time. Maybe even like cutting open that cake, having some cake. And I think he's walking down the street and he just finds a quiet little area. Maybe like a little, like one of those tiny little French cafe tables and chairs where it takes up like a microscopic amount of space in a corner outside. And I think he sits there with Hitch. And he reaches into his backpack and he pulls out the pocket watch and he puts it on the table. Do you have unfinished business?
Yeah, of course I do. What I gave you, kid, is a fight. Something bigger than two individuals beating the shit out of each other. I gave you a fight with a capital F, alright? That kind of fight has to be burned into you. Has to have fuel. You have to have a reason to do it. Yeah, kid. Giving you something to fight for is enough for now.
Griff reaches into his backpack, into the same pocket that the pocket watch was being kept in. And he pulls out a little book. It's a very, very well-used, dog-eared browning on everywhere from sunspots, and this is just a raggedy, very well-used book. And he lays it on the table, and it reads at the very top in big, bold, white letters, "The Daring Deeds of Crimson Caliber." And on the very cover, on the cover of this book is a figure clad almost entirely in black, doing that cool, like, that anime pose where, like, one leg is far extended and the other leg is curled up, almost like they're, like, running. And they have, like, these super sharp looking black boots, black pants, a loose black long sleeve shirt, and a wide brimmed black hat. Everywhere around him are just these borders of bright crimson red, like crimson on his heels and on the end of his toes and his belt. And there's this red ring that goes around the brim of his squat wide brim hat. And then there's this bright red blindfold around his eyes. And he just lays that book right next to the pocket watch. This is my favorite book. I don't think it's very good, but I love it. It's not perfect, but it's mine. And someone I care about a lot gave it to me.
Who's that, kid?
I think I understand what it's like to lose somebody and to need to keep going. Who was she?
I loved her, but she couldn't love me, kid. You love who you can. At least that's what they tell you. We thought differently, so I learned rope tricks to climb up to her window. She's still out there, kid. She's still out there, and I never came home. I like that book. I read it a while ago. It doesn't quite capture the nuance of what I do here, but, you know, in the ballpark.
It's a little cheesy.
What are you gonna do? What's your favorite part, kid?
Griff opens the book to the inside of the cover, and inside is in black ink, just a little heart, and it says, "For my hero."
Yeah, I can get that. Somebody giving you a book, that's something special, right? Giving you a story. Means it made you think of them.
Did you have a hero?
No, I didn't. Dad was gone young, and I can't say I looked up to a whole lot of folks I wasn't cracking the fucking jaw stuff. Feel like I had to kind of become my own hero, you know?
That sounds like exactly what a hero would do.
Bah! I don't think a hero would end up a rope. Whatever. Look, kid. Doesn't matter who I was. Not now, it doesn't.
Okay. But we're gonna beat this fight. You and me, we're gonna make people proud. And we're gonna win.
Maybe we will. One last question, kid. Who wrote it? The inscription.
My mom. She loved these kind of books. You know, the real high adventure-y kind. She loved them. We used to have a ton of them.
Can't shake a stick at a half-stone horror. Let's write our own, huh, kid? I think we got a couple evil arch-villains we can take care of, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go put the fear of something in them.
Yeah. Let's. I think I know exactly where we can start.
All right. So we can finish there. And, you have a few hours to blow. So, you and Hitch spend a little time practicing, mayhaps, and eventually, you find the sun has gone down, and it's about the time you agreed to meet Pent and the boys.
Yeah. Griff totally goes to the entrance of the perch, and he just hangs super excited.
It doesn't take too long. I think eventually, peeking ahead around the side of a building. Psst, psst. Hey, kid.
Oh, hey, yourself.
Come on over. And you see Feldspar. Oh my God, I'm. This may be a mistake.
What was his voice?
This may be a mistake, what I'm about to do, but.
Oh, please.
I'm gonna commit to this, and it may be the worst thing in the fucking show.
Oh, yes.
But we're gonna have to commit to it. So, you see Feldspar kind of poking his head around. He's got sort of like a black cowl, and he's got a big KF painted across his face, and kind of sort of in a dark green.
Oh, they're little Teen Titans. Whoa! Oh, look at you!
What?
That.
Shut the fuck up!
I'm sorry, but that's a really cool outfit.
Thanks, man. I've been saving up for a while to. Come on, we'll talk about this in our secret lair.
Oh my God, you have a secret lair!
Shut the fuck up!
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, let's go.
And then Bobby pops his head out from underneath his, sort of starting the stack. And he's wearing a painted green mask, and it has a terribly painted flame on it. What's up, man?
Griff puts his hand over his mouth. He's like, oh, that's so cool. Oh man, you guys look so cool.
Well, that's what I like to hear, my man. Come on, let's get to the lair. And they start to do a scamper, kind of a scamper run down a hall. And you kind of get to see their full outfits. Both of them kind of continuing the motif, disgust in their faces. The KF is also on Feldspar's chest. Bobby sort of has like terrible flames painted all over him, sort of a wrapped cheap fabric outfit. And yeah, they scamper away, and eventually they kind of descend down some stairs on the side of the perch, and there's a big hanging, what is essentially big hammock. Pretty much what you live in, just with 4 corners, a little broader. And stuck onto it is, a couple chests, a couple packs, and waiting is Pint. Also, in a stupid outfit, wrapped in black cloth, and you can see strapped to his back is a big, rusty, ancient gun.
What?
And he has sort of a what apparently is a piece of metal that he's attempted to sort of weld. He didn't weld, pound with a rock probably into a general shape. With some fabric sticking out of the sides, like he's clearly sort of padding it. It doesn't really give you a general impression of anything but a piece of metal he's wrapped around his face. But the gun is kind of hard to miss. Howdy, boys. What's up, Pint? I mean, Bombard? Good old Pint gives like a little stupid bow. Good old Bobby, good old Feldspar step in front of you into the this hammock thing. We should probably introduce ourselves, citizen, seeing as how we've never met.
Wink, wink.
I am, of course, the Green Flame, hero of the downtrodden, cleansing fire to the evil found within the Spire.
Griff does like a little golf clap.
Thank you, I'm pretty proud of that one. I think it's a pretty cool motif. And, Feldspar, would you like... Yeah! I worked on this one for a while. My name is KF. I'm sort of rough and tumble, and I'm the bad boy of the group. You know what the KF stands for?
No.
I'm the killer fuck!
I think Griff does not applaud Killer Fuck making his entrance, but he just stands there, mouth agape, just...
Yeah! That's what I thought! You see, everybody had sort of cool names, but I figured, well, I better be, in your face. There's plenty of, like, knife guys and fire, and you're like sort of a rope thing.
But there's no